In today's video, we'll cover the best squirrel food and what to feed squirrels in the backyard, so you are better prepared when you see them. Squirrel watching, like bird watching, can be a relaxing, fun, and inexpensive hobby. To get started, all you need is some squirrel food and a squirrel feeder. Squirrels, like most animals, can eat almost anything you feed them, and in most cases, definitely will. Like most people, it is understandable if you don't know what to feed your backyard squirrel. There's a lot of misconceptions, especially in TV and film. But get ready to learn about what you can feed squirrels. What to feed squirrels in the backyard? Well, many people feed corn, birdseed, and food scraps to squirrels. But what do squirrels like to eat most? Although some of these items aren't bad, they aren't the favorite food of squirrel in terms of nutrition. The best types of squirrel food are fruits, nuts, vegetables, and seeds. Alright, well now let's go over in detail a variety of items that squirrels enjoy which are both healthy and easily available. So anyone can feed squirrels in their backyard. First up is fruits. Squirrels enjoy a wide range of fruit. They love climbing above fruit trees as much as they enjoy nut trees and grabbing some sweet and delicious fruits. If there is already a fruit tree, you'll probably want to have the fruit for yourself instead of feeding it to the neighborhood squirrels. Fruits like grapes, cantaloupes, apples, watermelon, and strawberries can be left out in small chunks. Can you imagine a squirrel trying to carry around a cantaloupe? Unbelievable. So make sure you cut them into small chunks so they can be easily carried away by squirrels. Generally, they prefer fruits that are non-citrus, so no oranges, lemons, or limes. Alright, number 2, nuts. Squirrels are well known for being fond of nuts. If your backyard already has trees with nuts, you're already providing a great source of food for the squirrels. Planting a few trees that produce nuts in your yard is one way to attract more squirrels and ensure they're getting a good meal. Nuts in their shells, whether or not straight from the tree, are the best squirrel food. It is particularly useful if you have different types of nuts in order for them to enjoy the full benefits for their health. However, all nuts won't work. Squirrels may be harmed by certain varieties, so you have to be cautious about selecting the nuts for feeding them. The best nuts, or favorite fruit of a squirrel, are hickory nuts, butternuts, hazelnuts, pecans, white oak trees, or walnuts. Now some things, and it's an interesting common misconception, but not good for squirrels, are raw peanuts and red acorns. If you're looking at giving squirrels nuts like pistachios, roasted peanuts, it's better to give them lower amounts, but they still are not the favorite food of a squirrel. On to number 3, vegetables. If there are vegetables in your garden, you probably know that squirrels like to eat almost any vegetable they can get a hold of. Squirrels enjoy fresh vegetables because they are rich in nutrition. Things like leafy greens, cabbage, broccoli, yellow squash, peas, or zucchini are all considered as the favorite food of a squirrel. Number 4 is seeds. Squirrels are notorious for stealing from bird feeders, so they should enjoy seeds, right? Well, they would eat seeds, and while they aren't bad for them, they aren't the best squirrel food. Of course, anything will do when a hungry squirrel is looking for a meal. Eating seeds in moderate amounts is fine. One type of seed which is great is pumpkin seeds. They'll consume the seeds and a bit of the shell as well. So make sure to include both if looking to use these to feed squirrels. Now that we know some of squirrels' favorite foods, let's go through some foods to avoid if looking to feed squirrels. First up, we have peanuts. Although most nuts are good for squirrels, peanuts are a bit different. Squirrels can be harmed by a fungus found in peanuts, especially raw peanuts. Roasted peanuts or peanut butter are fine occasionally, but they're not the best squirrel food. Processed or junk food, as we all know, has poor nutritional value. Chips, candy, and other processed items aren't healthy, and they're also unsuitable for squirrels. They find it difficult to digest cellulose. Giving them bread or other cellulose-containing foods can get them sick. Remember that if something doesn't grow in nature, it's probably not the best choice for feeding wildlife. All those corn roasts, you'd imagine that a cob of corn might be the favorite food of a squirrel, especially when you see them running around all the picnics and corn roasts happening. But it isn't particularly nutritious for them. For squirrels, corn is essentially junk food. Squirrels can be fed corn in moderate amounts if you provide it to them with healthy options on a regular basis. So if you're looking to provide them with corn, you should look to also include other food types. Now, when some of the squirrels' favorite foods aren't around, there are a variety of other items that they may find appetizing, which include insects. If squirrels are unable to obtain fruits, nuts, or vegetables, small insects would meet their protein requirements. Things like caterpillars, crickets, butterflies, and any type of winged bugs are some of the insects they love to consume. Fungi, or mushrooms, is another item that squirrels like to eat. Squirrels enjoy foraging in a variety of places, not only in the trees. There are a variety of fungi or mushrooms that squirrels enjoy eating, depending on the environment. Some mushrooms can be planted near where the squirrels are fed as a treat for them. And lastly, bones. Despite the fact that squirrels mostly consume vegetarian options, bones are a good source of calcium. Some types of squirrels nibble on deer antlers or animal bones. Even though they like animal bones, you'll need to think about whether it's a good idea to have them in your yard, as they can attract other types of species. And, for our furry friends out there, they can also be choking hazards. So it may be best to go with other suggestions that were mentioned before. Reasons to feed squirrels. Now, some people are adamantly opposed to squirrel feeding and might even advise you against it. Although feeding wild squirrels with your hands can make them reliant on humans, installing a squirrel feeder in the yard is a nice way to help them. We'll go through some reasons as to why it's a good idea to feed squirrels in your backyard. Like all living things, squirrels need to drink water. So why not help them access water easily? Water might not be what most people think of when it comes to feeding squirrels, but they do need it to lead a healthy life. Certain squirrel feeders come with a place to hold clean water, so take that into consideration when making your selection. You can also use a heated bird bath to place water for squirrels to use during the winter. It's also a good idea to feed squirrels because it prevents them from eating out of bird feeders. If you already have a bird feeder, you're well aware that squirrels tend to creep up and eat bird food. Squirrels don't always get the best nutrition from bird food. If they eat everything, the birds won't get it. Not just that, the squirrels can also damage the feeder, making it difficult for everyone. Giving squirrels their own feeder is one solution to keep them away from the bird feeder. Squirrels end up eating from whatever feeder is nearest to them, which is why squirrel feeders are available. The squirrels would have a better source of food, and the birds in the yard can enjoy their snacks. And beneficial for surviving the winter. Not all of us love winter. So as time approaches for hibernation, squirrels need to ensure they have enough food to last them through the winter. Offering them access to food makes it easier for them, and it also provides them with a safe place to go back to when they want more food. So in summary, squirrels like to eat all kinds of foods, and probably, if given the opportunity, would eat cake or pie. They'll eat almost anything you put in front of them, but if you want to ensure that they are fed properly, you'll need to know the best squirrel food for your yard. Make sure to fill a squirrel feeder with a variety of vegetables, fruits, and nuts so that they can eat and come back later for. If you have a choice, picking a feeder with a water holder is especially beneficial for squirrels. So good luck out there in feeding the squirrels and enjoying watching squirrels in your backyard.